Have you ever experienced a time in your life when things felt really peachy? They felt fabulous. Maybe it was work success or extra money coming in or like a fantastic partnership, sports, whatever the situation, whatever the circumstances, life felt good and there was a sense of flow and ease until there wasn't. When you start to have maybe a series of uncomfortable feelings like worry or self-doubt, or that you meet some obstacles and problems and nothing seems to flow anymore. If you're nodding to this, it could be that you experienced or are experiencing something called upper limiting. My name is Gilly Wotton and this is the Inner Pickle Podcast, and I'm your host, and we're going to be talking about all the things to do with the emotional dilemmas that appear to keep us stuck and how we find solutions and move through that feeling of stuckness. So upper limiting, excuse me, what is it? Well, it is a term that was first cited by a man called Gay Hendricks. He wrote a book called The Big Leap, and there's masses of really fabulous information in that book. But let's kind of look at what we mean by upper limiting. The best way to describe it is that we have a thermostat, which is at a certain setting. And this thermostat decrees just how much happiness, success, wealth, visibility is safe for your nervous system. Now, when we expand our life and go through a period of personal growth, as I said, it could be a promotion, could be that we've got that fabulous new partner, could be that we're doing really well in our sport, that our family's doing well. It doesn't really matter what area it's in. That thermostat gets reached and your body starts to signal this is not safe. All this happiness, all this ease, this visibility, this success, whatever the thing is, your nervous system isn't used to it. It's almost like your identity just hasn't kind of caught up with your circumstances. And it starts to make you have emotions like worry, self-doubt. It makes you unconsciously sabotage things. So it could seem as though there's external things to play, and often there is, which is causing the problems, but a lot of it is generated from this nervous system and the field that we give off to say, this is not comfortable, this is not okay. So we get these feelings of self-doubt and any sort of attempt to move, oh no, this is great, I'm loving this job, it's what I wanted, just gets met with our nervous system trying to haul us back into a place and into circumstances that feel more familiar. So we don't, it's not a conscious thing. It's a subconscious thing. We don't wake up one morning and say, oh, well, I'm just about to sabotage this wondrous relationship or my fabulous new job or the great things that are going on with my family. It's not a conscious thing. It's inherently really below our radar. And it comes into play whenever we reach that thermostatic setting of what is comfortable for the body and what isn't. So where does it come from? Well, as you can well imagine, these limits are often set in childhood. It can be set later on in life, but most of the beliefs which turn into the emotions, which turn into the kind of codes that our body gets used to, are set when we're younger. Now, people say to me, yeah, but Gilly, I had a really great childhood. It's not about whether you had a good or a difficult childhood. It's more about what you made things mean and what you took on board during those times. So it can be that maybe your parents worked really, really hard. They saved hard for holidays to buy that new outfit for Christmas or to allow you to go on the school trips. So there's a thing. So there's a feeling of, if I'm not working really hard for something, then I don't deserve it. You might have picked up that sort of belief. Parents or caregivers or people in your community might have said, money changes people, and it's not always for the better. So you start thinking there's a belief of, well, I'm a good person and I don't want to lose my values of kindness and community when, if I have money, I might really change. All of these things are operating well below the surface. In partnerships, it might be that somehow along the line, you develop beliefs of not being good enough. And you meet somebody who's wonderful, who's really gorgeous, and you feel fantastic. And then your subconscious will start batting against that upper limit, that thermostat setting. It's like a glass ceiling, pushes up against it, and your nervous system says, oh no. So it's operating from those beliefs, from those thoughts, and it makes the nervous system try to just drag you back. And it does cause feelings of shame because you've got all this good life maybe and you don't feel as though you've worked for it. There's a sense of not deserving what you've got because of the beliefs. There can be a sense of shame, again guilt, that you've got something and your friends and family haven't. So the beliefs that we've encoded as we've grown up will very much be responsible for setting this the setting on the thermostat. And this is what we experience when things are going really well and then suddenly they're not. It's your experience of finding where that thermostat edge is. It's finding the edges where those beliefs and emotions are firmly saying, no further than this. That doesn't feel okay. So what I want to look at first of all is the many faces of upper limiting, because it's not always hugely dramatic. As I've said just earlier, it can be that we're just getting that. It's not sort of self-doubt, and it can be worry. It can be a lot of anxiety and worry, but it can just be those niggling doubts like, oh, is this meeting going to go okay now? And, oh, have I done enough to get by with that? Or, oh, will they like me in this outfit? Or, there's just worrying and self-doubt, which affects what we give off. So all that joy, those good feelings that we were getting start to be withheld and withdrawn. And we might go into, as the body tries to move us into something much more familiar, we can go through a period of anxiety or difficulties created by that upper edge. And what I want you to really start to kind of get a grasp of is that you're not broken, but that these experiences, once you start to notice them, are just part of a process that you have to go through. Well, many of us have to go through. I speak of myself here as well. I think I might have said on another podcast that when I first started doing this podcast, the first time I did it, I had to do 122, yes, 122 takes, because I don't know why. I was getting on behind the camera and I'm just going, hi, my name is, take two. Hi, my name is Gilly Wotton and this is the, or I get halfway through it and just go something like, so when we experience and just messing it up, just like, and then of course you start to worry. So that was definitely a case of upper limiting visibility for me. It's okay to write the emails, it's okay to be on Zoom one-to-one or with a small group of people, but somewhere in my body it was going, nah, this could go out to anybody, this podcast. Nope, not happy with that. So I'm going to share with you a couple of things that I did at the time to get me through that, and I'll share those with you in a minute. So yeah, so I've covered, I think, most of the things I wanted to there. So yeah, let's go on to the tips. Excuse me. The first thing that I would do is, there is something you can do to even stop it before it happens. And that is to do with imagination and visualization. Now, remember, the body doesn't know if what the mind is thinking is real or not. So if you've got a hope of a new relationship and you kind of really know what that's going to look like, or how you hope you will feel within that relationship, or if you are looking for another job and you kind of know what you want and how you want to feel, the money that you want and the changes that it will bring to your life, if you just sit down one day, get yourself into a nice calm state through your breath, breathing in for 4 and out, and start to imagine what it'll be like when you have that job and you've been in it for 6 months and things are going really well. What it's going to be like with your colleagues, how you want to feel when that salary drops in at the end of every month, the difference it will make to you and your family, and start to just imagine it. Imagine just enjoying that space. What feelings would you get? Remember, the language of our nervous system is emotion, not words. So when you can just sit and imagine, daydream. Some people call it visualization. You can call it what you like, but just do those things. Feel it. Feel what it'll be like to have completed your trial period in that job, or get maybe you're moving from corporate and setting up on your as an entrepreneur and your own business. Imagine your first contract. Imagine your 10th contract. Imagine the delivery of your business, whether it's a service-based industry, whether you're a coach or whatever you do. Get into the feeling of that upgrade. And when you do that, you are teaching your body a new limit. You're stretching and extending that thermostat. You're notching it up so that your body, when you come to experience that new relationship or your new business or your new job doing really, really well, your body's already done it. I know, listening to somebody once And they said, you know, I practiced so many times of reaching that 500,000 in my business that when my PA told me we'd actually done it, I kind of was excited, but it just felt really familiar. And so I said to her, had you visualised it? Had you kind of thought about it? She said, all the time before it happened. And when it did, it just felt so familiar that it so her thermostat had already extended to that space. And I said, did you get any on this journey over this? Because it happened very quickly, from when she started the business to when she got to the 500,000. And she said, not really, no, I hadn't had any setbacks, or things just seemed to go really well. I mean, there were ups and downs, yes, but things had gone really well. And although we can't prove it, I've a good idea that some of it was because of all the experiencing, her body already experiencing the thing before it actually happened. So if you're already in it, if you've achieved the thing, if you've got the job, if you've got the sporting achievement or got that lovely partner and they're in your life, what you have to realise is that you called it in. You're already aligned with it. It's meant for you. It's for you. You called it in. So start to teach your nervous system to get used to it. Sometimes these beliefs can play out because we don't believe we're going to be the same person. Now, what I mean by that is when we have a considerable change in our life, sometimes it can poke those beliefs of I'm not good enough, or it can poke that belief of if I have more money or that amount of money or this amount of money, then gosh, what if I'm no longer that person? And when we do the visualizations, we can just bring in this whole sense of I'm still that good person. Look at me. I'm still helping out my family. I'm still being kind and being a good friend. And bring your values into your visualization. And if there is some stuff around lack of self-belief, you'll benefit from the next 2 tips. Okay, so visualization, upgrade your identity so that it's as it is now and not as it was. So the second tip, and this is another really big one, is that what I recommend you have ingrained on your brain is observe, don't absorb. Sometimes what people do is they start to doubt themselves, start to worry, and something goes wrong, and then they go into the story, their old story of, I knew I wasn't good enough to keep that lovely new partner. Oh, I knew that I'd fail somewhere, or somebody would catch me out in this job. And we start going into the old beliefs, the old story. No. Don't do that on my watch. So observe, don't absorb. Remember, what you are experiencing is the edge, is the thermostat setting. So take a deep breath and notice it. And one thing I did around the podcast stuff was I used a beautiful little saying combined with some breath work. It's a saying by Louise Hay, and she's a very, very famous person who set up Hay House Publishing. She's passed recently in the last few years, But yeah, she's used to say this thing, which I absolutely love. So it's something to calm your nervous system and your mind right down. Remember, the nervous system is going, ooh, I've reached the edge. If you can calm it down, if you can start reassuring it, you're going to win this one. So come into the breath and start to breathe in for about 4 and out for about 4. So we've got the thing on our mind, oh no, what if I can't? What if I'm not good enough? What if I can't? We're just going to come into the breath. We've witnessed, we've observed our edge and say, pat on the back, you do, that's really great. Most people don't. So keep breathing in and out for 4. Witnessing that shame and guilt, the worry, the anxiety, whatever the thing is. So when you can feel your body just calming down just a little bit, I want you to start to tap. I'm not going to do both sides, but you can tap both sides because I've got the microphone here. And I'm not going to do it very strongly here, but because you'll hear it. But just start to tap with the breath. This is a beautiful point, acupressure point, which is just helps to calm the nervous system. And then we're going to just say, bringing both sides of the story, because usually what happens is the things that make us feel anxious or worried or upset, the shame, the guilt, all that stuff, are because we're thinking about one thing. I'm not good enough. I knew I couldn't. I can't have money because I'll change. When we can hold two thoughts, we can start to reassure the nervous system. So it goes something like that. We do the breath and then we go, even though I've started to get really worried that I might mess up. And we're just breathing. We're just saying out aloud or to ourselves, even though I've got really worried that I might mess up. And then this is what Louise Hay says. She says, all is well. Everything is working out for my highest good. Out of this situation, only good will come. I am safe. Now, the saying is hers. I hope I've remembered it right. But I introduced the tapping because that point's a wonderful point to calm the system. And the breath is just, again, helps to relax the nervous system. So in and out for 4 while you say, all is well. Everything is working out for my highest good. Out of this situation, only good will come. I am safe. It's gorgeous, isn't it? Even as I say it, sat here with you guys, I can feel the effect on my body. So observe, don't absorb, and take that expansion of bringing another thought in. So even though I've got this, hey, everything's okay. It's a beautiful thing to do, to bring in 2 thoughts rather than just focus on the one. And the third thing is keep the faith, guys. Have some faith in yourself, okay? So often we get so hard on ourselves. Oh no, I've messed up, or I'm doing this, or things aren't going okay. Have the faith, be gentle in yourself. And the exercise that I've just shown you is a really beautiful, gentle, compassionate exercise which helps relax the nervous system and helps to stretch, to heighten that thermostat, break through that glass ceiling. I could use 101 metaphors, but I won't use any more today, I promise. So we begin to realise, guys, that when we bring in compassion, when we bring in awareness, when we bring in a sense of faith and determination in yourself, we are going to constantly update your identity, upgrade it, push those edges so that you can sit comfortably in this expanded new you. So the tip 1 was use the visualization and imagination. Tip 2 was to use that lovely exercise that I went through. And tip 3, guys, keep the faith in yourself. You've brought this thing in, or you want to bring this thing in. Your desires, I believe, are from something outside of ourselves, like that connection you have to to the universal forces. And if you're thinking it, hoping it, dreaming it, you can bring it in. And when you start to and things go wrong, it's simply because it's not that. You just need to upgrade that identity. So keep the faith. Be kind to yourself if things don't go just quite as planned and you meet a few obstacles. Do the exercise that I've said and enjoy the rewards of really being aligned with what you are calling or have called in. If you've enjoyed this podcast, like, follow, do all the things, and come across to Instagram where I also post really regularly.